Speaking of taking things for what they are,
Yeah.
so Daniel watched this on his own.
Yes. Yeah, I watched Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, which is kind of the new spin-off fairy tale series that started up. I think the manga started about 4 or 5 years ago, and they finally adapted it into an anime. The first season is now on Crunchyroll. I only managed to get to the first 3 episodes. Um, but yeah, so uh, it takes place, I think, a year after some event in Fairy Tale happened. I'm not entirely sure. I dipped out of Fairy Tale like around season 3 or 4. Because
Yeah,
it just yeah.
Hiro Mashima is like he is one of the best-selling mangaka of all time. I think that Fairy Tale is in the top 10 pretty easily
Yeah.
in terms of overall Japanese manga sales. Um, but ever since Rave Master, which I still maintain is his peak storytelling, he does tend to kind of get into certain habits and repeat tropes a lot.
Yeah. And I'm a little fearful he's doing that again with this show. Um, One of the reasons I dipped out of Fairy Tale was because they would do these long story arcs. And it was just like they would do these 20 episode story arcs, and basically each episode was just like one long fight scene. And it kind of got really repetitive and it got really boring after a while. Um, but hopefully that they don't do that with this, but I'm kind of seeing some signs of it, at least in the first 3 episodes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I decided to look up the series up because I was thinking, how could he possibly be drawing this while also doing what do you call it? What's that other
Oh,
manga?
Eden Zero.
Eden Zero. It turns out that he has been writing and storyboarding this, but it's being drawn by someone else.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense. The thing where I said, "Oh my gosh, how many volumes do you think this has, and how long do you think it's been running?"
I'm gonna say it's got 20 volumes and it's been running for 4 years.
So you were right on 20 volumes, which is kind of obscene for a spinoff like this. Um, and yeah, that could very easily mean that we are going to have the same sort of pacing he usually has.
Uh,
Been running since 2018, which I don't. That math makes me think that this might not be on a weekly schedule, but I'd have to try run it again.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. But yeah. So basically, the crux of this series is the core group of Fairy Tale, which is, I mean, that's Natsu, Lucy, Urza, Gray, and Wendy, along with Happy and Charlotte, who are the two cats. They take on the big, huge 100 years quest, which is the reason it's called the 100 years quest is because it's been around for 100 years. Not that it takes 100 years to complete it.
Oh, or see, I was thinking it was more special than that because, like, oh, the quest is only available every 100 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But no, it's been around for 100 years. It's been on Fairy Tale's board for 100 years.
Okay, so this isn't like an out. This isn't what the person who would give the quest would call it, or this isn't what. Okay, that makes a bit more sense because I was just thinking to myself, you know, oh, this year I'm going off on the 25-year quest.
Yeah. And Arco says he never watched Fairy Tale, heard good things, couldn't make it through season 1. Shame because he enjoyed Rave Master. Yeah.
Rave Master is like his least marketable series, but it's his best in my opinion still.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, there are our core Fairy Tale group. They go on the 100 years quest, and they find out that the quest is actually to find 5 dragon gods and seal them away. And they find out that the term sealing away could mean anything. It could mean killing him. It could mean like encasing him in ice, or like doing sealing up magically, however that means. And it was started by this guy, and I can't remember the name of the guy who started the quest. And he was the one. He started the very first wizard guild in all of this magical world that fairy tale takes place in. And he started it because he was trying to seal away the dragon gods, but then it didn't work, and then he ended up becoming a dragon, hence why he's still alive. And so they signed our heroes, they sign on the dotted line this contract that they'll, if they complete the 100 years quest, they each get a wish fulfilled, and it can be anything their heart desires.
Yeah, that isn't ominous at all.
No, not ominous at all. Yeah. And it's quick there. Of course, he's quick to point out that every wizard that has attempted this quest is died. The only one who survived was Gildarts, who is like the top wizard in fairy tale. He didn't complete the quest, and he survived, but he lost like his arm and his leg and most of his innards. And also Gildarts is Kana's father. Kana's she's the one who is the drinker.
Is that why she drinks? I have sympathy for her father. No, I just do it recreationally.
Yeah. I love that chick. Anyway, so then as they go off on their on the quest, their first stop is in this town where the people turn into fish at night, and they meet they worship the sea dragon, and so then they ask about the sea dragon, and of course they think that they're there to kill the sea dragon, so they imprison them, and then they meet other dragon slayers who are also on the exact same quest, and they're just as of course, as you expect, they're incredibly evil, because they to gain the dragon's powers, they eat the dragons, they eat their flesh.
Oh, so I imagine that Natsu isn't too fond of them, since he likes dragons more or less.
You would be right about that, yeah. And there's also another subplot where a new member of Fairy Tale shows up, and her name is Tora, and she's got
Toka?
like Toka, yeah. And she has a lot in common with Juvia, which if you don't know Juvia, she's the water girl who is like madly in love and always constantly stalking Gray. And this new girl, she also uses water magic, and instead of being madly in love with Gray, she's madly in love with Natsu. And
but she's one of the best characters. Why not just bring Juvia along?
I don't know.
They do the same jokes.
Yeah. Well, apparently she's not all she seems, because Jalal, who is a character throughout Fairy Tale and is like a kind of like on again, off again love interest for Urza, is looking for her because there's something off about her. And the other people who believe the same are of course Juvia and Gajil, he's like the metal dragon guy with all the piercings.
One of the most underused characters.
Yes, yeah, and his cat guy, I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, it's the black one, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Fairy Tale. It's got all of the hallmarks of the series that you would expect. It's got all the magic fights, and all the characters are still the same. They're And of course, an abundance of fan service. From Lucy and Urza.
Better not be from Wendy.
But no, nothing from. Well, Wendy is in a bikini. I know.
So,
Well, technically, there was a 7-year time skip, so I think technically she's like 19, but it's still not right.
Okay. Does she age like a Saiyan from Dragon Ball then, where she just remains childlike and then just ages all at once at some point? Is that how this works?
I don't know, probably.
Because she looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
actually, everyone looks exactly the same.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So I gotta admit that your summary makes me a little bit disappointed because, but it also, this is why reviews are helpful. I would have gone into this assuming that this was like a smaller, more focused story or something, or maybe even a movie.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing this on my Crunchyroll for months on end, but I think I'm gonna sit it out.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for that too, that it was more of a singular focused story. And it could be. I don't know. Like I said, I've only 3 episodes in.
This kind of feels like a hero wanting to keep working on his guaranteed moneymaker while he went off to do Eden's Zero. So that's interesting.
Yeah. It does feel more like Eden's Zero than it does than the original fairy tale.
Interesting. I guess that does kind of show the change in his writing style and maturity and whatnot.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll stick with it a little longer just to see if hopefully this current story arc that they're on right now doesn't last more than another episode or 2.
So it sounds like a very tepid endorsement.
Yeah, pretty tepid. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.